And set up here. It's Friday Night Live. How are you doing? A lot of things going on. Got a lot to talk about. So let me just get my list of questions. Give people a little time to show up. I'm gonna put this back a little. I don't want to feel like I'm right on top of you. Yes, here we are, Friday night, and we need to bring the energy up because it's been a really rough day, just in terms of what's going on in the world. We haven't been here since the Cuban Missile Crisis. Let's be real. So we probably could do a moment of silence. Sorry, I'm doing this. This is literally being held up by rubber bands. Good to see you. Happy Friday. Let's just, anybody who's showing up, let's just take 15 seconds to send light to Ukraine. Okay, so I'll just start and we'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 15 seconds, send light to Ukraine. All right, we're sending light to Ukraine and to the Russian people and to really the world. So we haven't been here since the Cuban Missile Crisis. This is kind of intense. It's very intense. So we're going to bring the energy up. We're going to laugh and be light. My guides told me today it's okay to be in your own space of light and laughter because that brings up the energy too. So as best we can, we're going to pull ourselves out of any worry that we have. Russia is a superpower that has nuclear arsenals, so we're not going to dwell on that. I have been asking the guides again and again and again. I've been asking the guides, as you know, I've been asking them again and again and again, and I just keep getting, it's not going to be, he's not going to go all in because he's going to be stopped. So I keep getting Putin's going to be stopped. So let us make sure we're praying for that. I do have a few questions. I do want to get to the news, but that's primarily what's going to be highlighted, at least for a period of time tonight. So Biden put it to us straight. Putin's bound and determined he's gonna attack. This has been very interesting. You can feel free to put your questions up there. It's been very interesting to me, and I'll read the ones that I can. Very interesting to me to notice. This is really something to be aware of. What Putin is doing in Ukraine is he's propagating false information because Putin is a master at pushing false information, and he's basically, you probably already know this, he's trying to make it look like there's justification for invading Ukraine, and he's trying to show like different he's got different things in his bag of tricks in terms of how to, convince the Ukrainians that Russia has to do what Russia's doing. And just to make the connection, I've been saying for a long time that the Russians hacked into the election and they made Trump win. Now, there's going to be more and more and more like evidence to back up this theory, which is all in the Mueller report. Russia has been pitting Americans against each other through false information, and Fox News is in on it. I'm going to tell you this channel is for entertainment purposes only, but I'm also going to tell you this isn't a big stretch. What they've done to the United States is in the playbook for dictators. That's what they do. They put out false information. They're going to be doing that in Ukraine. And what is at threat, what's really at risk, is that there is potential, and we'll take a look at it, for us to have an all-out media blackout so that we don't have any idea what's going on in Ukraine. And what they want to do, the plan that Putin has in mind, is to get in and eliminate the Ukrainian government. Now, does this sound like anything that we've heard recently from some of the GOP in America who want to have the January 6th Commission stand trial, and who want to execute Nancy Pelosi, and who wanted to exterminate Mike Pence through a public lynching hanging? This is, we'll lighten it up in a second, but I want everybody to pay attention to what's happening. This is how it works. And the United States of America has been subjected to this type of a war within our own country, with our own people. Our media has been infiltrated by Russia. Okay, you with me? You guys with me? Can I get a witness? It's heavy. Who was it that said this week that people in our government need to be executed? I did hear it. So let's really pray. Whoever is saying that something sad happened, oh, thank you for that. Whoever's saying something sad happened, I didn't catch it, but my condolences. I don't know what happened, but I do everything on my little phone, so it's hard to see sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to do the best that I can to read some comments, but I'm not going to be able to read them all. It's not easy to do a live, but I like to see you guys. I like to see that you're here, and it's good to have our little Stevie Nicks thing. I love Stevie Nicks. Thank you, that's a compliment. So I tuned into Putin, and I was kind of curious because just tuning into him for a brief amount of time. Yeah, yes, Trump, yeah. I'm going to talk about Putin in a second, but I just want to address that. Let's pay attention. Because America's been a democracy for as long as we've been a democracy, we have a tendency to go, oh, that'll never happen here. And right under our noses, it's been happening here. When the past guy that was in the White House, who got put in the White House by Russia, and it's all in the Mueller report, is calling for executions and jailing of people in our government, that's straight out of the dictatorship playbook. That, he was really buddy-buddy with Vlad. And that's what Trump knows about dictatorships. I read more than one place and heard more than one place that Mein Kampf was one of the only books that Trump ever read. We need to wake up. We need to, as far as on the home front, we need to save our democracy. The elections and dictatorships that pretend to be democracies are completely rigged and completely corrupt. Khrushchev was a dictator. That's what the whole Cuban Missile Crisis was, him in charge for 1962, 72, 82, almost, long time. 40, 30 something years. Dictator. They terrorize the world, and they terrorize the people over which they govern. I mean, Navalny right now has been sentenced to 10, 15 years more in prison after all the torture, after Vladimir Putin tried to poison him. This is what we're dealing with in terms of the kind of mentality that's going on here. So we really have to pray, and we really have to take autocracy, dictatorships, fascism as a real thing. Navalny protested Putin. He spoke out against Putin. We're allowed to do that in the United States of America. We're on the precipice, we're on the brink of the potential for it not to be that way anymore. This is tough. We are all interconnected. We are already under attack from Russia. Psychological warfare is something that they specialize in. I've been saying this for months if you've been watching me. I've been saying all those people that are in the cult of Trump, their brains have been absorbing something like a hypnosis, under something like a hypnosis. We're taking in what the Russian hackers were doing to persuade them, for one thing, to try to take down the government through a violent coup, for one thing. The other thing is to stand by their man forever and ever, amen. And don't be fooled, Trump doesn't give a rat's ass about any of his base. These are the things that we have to stop. It's going to become in fashion someday soon where it's trending, that we need to stop and reflect and to think and to become informed and to pay attention to our guidance and intuition. This is going to be trending because it needs to. Getting quiet, praying, or positively intending, these things have to be happening. When I get really, really, really freaked out, I think about the miracles that have happened. Joe Biden is in the White House. There was potential for Trump to be in the White House right now. There was potential for full-on war if Trump got reelected, and he almost did. So I garner hope from that Joe Biden is in office and he knows what he's doing. That's a big freaking deal. It's a big freaking deal. We really have to drop everything to save our democracy, because America has been the most pronounced and successful democracy for many years. Putin's whole MO is divide and conquer, divide and conquer. And he has succeeded in dividing the United States of America. And he's trying to do it in Ukraine right now. He's trying to get the Ukrainians to side with the Russians. Do you know how he's doing that? One way he's doing that, through Tucker freaking Carlson on Fox News. They're playing Tucker Carlson in Russia to say, see, America bad, America bad, America bad. So if you think that Fox News isn't in on this attempt to overthrow our government along with Putin, Fox News is being influenced. And all the other ones too. So I almost didn't come on tonight because I was so upset. But I would never do that. I would never say that I'm going to be somewhere and not show up. So just so you know, if I say I'm going to be here, I might be a minute or two late, but I would never blow you off. Because for one reason, we need to come together. But for many other reasons too. I do my best to have integrity and follow through and stuff. Do what I say I will do. So what I was starting to tell you about was earlier I did tune into Putin, and I was kind of taken aback because I felt like he was shaking. And then actually, I didn't know this, but somebody expressed to me that Putin has Parkinson's. I had not heard that before. So I feel Putin shaking, and I also feel him, it's a lot of adrenaline. It's a lot, I thought I was picking up on adrenaline, but somebody did tell me that Putin has Parkinson's. He's in poor health, but he is a monster. He's really reptilian brain, and nothing else is working in Putin's mind right now except conquer, 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 conquer. You know, back in the old days, there were movies like Godzilla, you know, the Japanese and Godzilla, and it was like this force, this menacing force. There was, I guess, in the, you know, that was like around the 1950s, and that was like a depiction of what the human collective consciousness felt like, with, you know, this energy that was like out of control in the form of Godzilla. That's kind of what it is. So I felt him shaky, and the pendulum keeps saying that he won't be able to do a full-on attack. So we're gonna focus on imagining things de-escalating. And the other thing I felt was, for entertainment purposes only, I asked if he was going to be assassinated, and I asked if it was by NATO, and I got, no, it wasn't NATO. And then I asked if it was one of the oligarchs, and I probably am saying too much right now. Entertainment purposes only, but I feel plans for his assassination, so that would be one person as opposed to tens of thousands, maybe more, in Ukraine, for entertainment purposes only. And, you know, you can express your point of view on YouTube. Still, we still can. And we take it for granted that we can express our points of view. I think we do. I do. I take it for granted that I can express my point of view on YouTube. But there are a lot of people in this country working against that right. Remember, they're banning books. And there are many countries, actually, might be most countries, where you couldn't speak your mind without threat of, you know. So that's what I felt. I felt like there are plans for his execution, and that doesn't take a psychic, really, so we can say for entertainment purposes only, but anybody would kind of deduce that. Clucker is a traitor to our country. Clucker, Clucker. I was using F. Is that what Linda G said? Yeah, I was, any military in the chat. Well, I just did see a little bit of Joy Reid, and Colonel Vindman was being interviewed. So right now, like I said, you're gonna have to ignore Spanky. Send Spanky light and love, because I'm not gonna waste my precious breath on yelling at a troll. So yeah, I'm not, just ignore Spanky. Just ignore Spanky. I'm not, you know what? We have more important things to think about. Sorry. Okay. Oh yeah, Linda G did say that, and that actually makes sense based on what I'm picking up on is an oligarch planning for assassination. Oh, thank you for blocking and supporting. So we're going to take a look at what the cards have to say about this situation. I do think that, okay, just hang on a second. Hang on. If somebody starts yelling at me for not having a moderator, I'm just going to shut it down. I'm just going to shut it down. Obviously, the person needs light and love. So can you just send the light and love and ignore it? Because if we can't ignore the little ugly voices and the little ugly people, you know, the little ugly voices, if we can't learn to just ignore them because they're everywhere, then we're going to have to, you know, like, just let everything in and get to us. And I'm not doing it right now. I'm doing a reading. So I don't need to be reprimanded for not having a moderator. Thank you. I'm sorry. I lost my temper. Stop crying, you big babies. My Scorpio rising is coming out. I'm looking at Russia. I'm looking at what's going on. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Just be happy that you're happy. You know what I mean? Don't let other people bring you down. Ah, okay, so as far as the Russia-Ukraine situation, I have the Hermit card. So Putin's going to be isolated. He's going to feel very alone, and I feel like that's starting to happen now. Unfortunately, when somebody of his persuasion is very, very unhappy and feeling isolated, they can tend to act out even more. Thank you for understanding. The Ace of Wands is more communication happening. No, well, I can kind of see. And the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so we've got stuff to work with. I'm not saying that there won't be casualties. I do see casualties. And that's what has me just, and I'm sure it has you extremely upset. Because it's ruthless, it's innocent people. You know, Russia's starting to take them in and say, come with us to Russia and we'll give you $135, Ukrainians, and we'll let you be safe in Russia. That's what's happening. So I do see Putin's on his own, which is interesting because I wonder what's going on in Belarus. But there is more room for negotiating. He's kind of backed into a corner. Yeah, see, the thing is, I'm picking up the oligarchs are planning something. Because the oligarchs have been angry at him for a long time now. Ever since he started putting troops on the border, I've felt that. So, yeah, interesting. We're going to change topics. Sending love, sending love, sending love. I probably will do something tomorrow, so keep an eye on my community board. I might just decide before the end of the hour. I'll be on for an hour. And I'll probably do something tomorrow, like a meditation. So I don't see why not, because it can only help and it won't hurt anything. But I'll let you know when that's going to be. Let's take a look at Trump. I was thinking about Trump today, like looking at everything that's going on with Russia and Ukraine, and I don't know if I'm so grateful that he doesn't have access to Twitter or Facebook, that Trump doesn't have access to it. But I do wonder what he's had to say about this. Okay, so we're looking at what Trump is thinking right now. Oh my goodness. This is Trump right now. This is Trump. The extreme heartache and disappointment. I think he knows Ivanka's going to flip on him. Well, you know, it's not so much that Ivanka's going to flip on her father. It's that now that they have to testify in New York, now that they have to, Letitia James has got it all. The guides are saying Letitia James is as good as Merrick Garland at what she does. She's got it all spelled out. And I really did get a hit the other day that Merrick Garland is hard at work doing his thing. And I heard somebody today on the news, I think, talking about how long it took for the Oklahoma City bomber, Timothy McVeigh, to be convicted and sentenced to death. And it was over a year. And this is monumentally, bigger in terms of volume of information. But Merrick Garland, got him convicted after a lot of careful care. So as far as how Trump is doing, Letitia James is as meticulous as Merrick Garland. I picked that up really strongly. And this is Trump. He's got no place. Talk about being painted into a corner like Putin is right now in a different way. He's really, I actually didn't expect the cards to be this bad. We'll come together tomorrow for a meditation. I'll let you know by the end of the hour what time that will be. I just got to think about my schedule in my head. Okay. Let's tell us more about him. Tell us more about what's going on there with Trump. Tell us more about what's going on with his family. Are you leaving so soon? Okay. This is Don Jr. I feel like, now this is weird because I'm getting the sense that Don Jr. This is weird because I feel like Don Jr. is going to get some much needed attention for his alcohol and drug problem. I don't know why this is coming up. I'm picking this up here. So he might actually use that. Don Jr. might actually use that as some kind of an excuse. That's crazy. Where's my pendulum? I'm seeing Don Jr. using his struggles with addiction as a possible out. I did not expect to see that either. As a possible out. Oh my goodness, would he really do that? But Don Jr., is he really? Oh my gosh, I'm shocked. What do you guys think about that? All right, well, it remains to be seen. I don't think that would that get Don Jr. off the hook if he just said, I have a problem with drugs and alcohol. I need to be excused. I don't know. Is that? All right, so be on the lookout for Don Jr. Attempting to use his drug and alcohol addiction problem as a way to gain sympathy. So weird. I really didn't expect to see that. Let's see what's going to happen with Ivanka. Now, I just want to give you a little impression that I've had about Ivanka. I've had about Ivanka this sense of festering rage against her father that's been going on for a long time. And I feel that, I don't want to say too much, but I just want to say Ivanka has not liked the way that her dad has looked at her. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm going to look at what's going to happen with Ivanka, because I think she's going to use that sort of hidden rage. Seriously. I mean, Michael Cohen talked about how Trump ogled his teenage daughter on the tennis court and said something about her. So, yeah, he'd have a rough going. That's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting point. That kind of came out of left field for me to see that about Don Jr., but I think as they get closer to needing to testify, he's going to start talking about, oh, I have a problem with addiction after what he did to Hunter Biden. Yeah. After, Hunter Biden is an addict. And addicts don't need to be attacked for having a problem. So Don Jr. is actually, I'm reading that he's actually going to use that. That's crazy. Crazy like a fox, right? He's going to do what... I don't mean Fox News. It's a saying. Crazy like a fox is a saying. Boy, that's a lot of emojis. What the heck is that? So the Justice card is coming up too. Don't feel sorry, because he still feels like he's the prince. He's Prince Trump. And I saw a little clip of Ivanka, and oh my gosh. Like when she was in the White House and they were coming out of some event and she had all this white on and she was just everything so perfectly done and with her nose up in the air like she was a princess. I know, I'm terrible. And I was like, you know what? They sent Martha Stewart to jail. They could send you too. So we're looking at, is Ivanka gonna take her hidden rage out on her father anytime soon? Oh yeah, that's a yes. That's a yes. Go live again. I'm seeing if I can do Friday Night Live on the Saturday Night Live theme. Live from Gloucester, Massachusetts. It's Friday night. I guess I hadn't thought that about Don Jr., that he would use that. I mean, but it makes sense, doesn't it? Ivanka. What about Ivanka? Ivanka. Ivanka's going to kiss up to whomever she needs to kiss up to not go to jail. Don't be fooled, anybody. She's going to do what it takes to save her. You know what? And the Temperance card is coming up again. Right now, that really just indicates they're working really hard to keep their emotions at an even keel. Because don't be fooled, that family is freaking out right now. That entire family is freaking out. All right, so let's do the jail pendulum. Let's do a lightning round. That's what Corey calls it. A lightning round. Yeah, that would be just like her. Who's going to jail? Is Don Sr. going to jail? Hate to disappoint you guys. Is Don Sr. not going to jail because of physical health problems? Yes. Will he be convicted? Will he be tried and convicted? I'm picking up Don Sr. will be tried and convicted, but will not go to jail. Is it because of physical illness? It's absolutely because of physical illness. Can you imagine? I mean, I don't think he would be faking it, but he would try to use that anyway. But I don't think he'd actually be faking it. I feel like he'll be physically ill. Don Sr. And like they maybe will put him in a hospital instead. Don Jr. Is Don Jr. going to jail? It looks like Don Jr. is facing prison time. And is Ivanka going to jail? It looks like Ivanka's not going to go to jail. Okay, is Eric going to jail? Is Eric going to jail? It looks like Eric's going to jail. But first off, Don Jr. is going to jail. We already, I mean, not part of the family, but kind of part of the extended family. Giuliani's definitely going to jail. Definitely. I don't even need to look at, yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't even need to look at if Giuliani's going to jail. I already have looked at that. Let's take a look at Mark Meadows. Is Mark Meadows going to jail? Oh, wow. The pendulum's just sending everyone to jail. Ignore people that are making stupid statements, okay? Just, that's my advice. You can take it if you want. Hi, Eastern Washington. you gotta ignore people that are bothering you. That's because they want you to respond. So just don't. I'm telling you, people, we gotta practice this stuff. I practice that. You have to. You gotta be tough in this world. Mark Meadows, I got Mark Meadows going to jail. Kevin McCarthy. No, boy, how is he going to get out of that? Because I've always seen, for Kevin McCarthy, not at first. Not at first. That's funny. Is Kevin McCarthy going to jail? It's going around and around and around. It hasn't been determined yet. But I've always seen, in my mind's eye, video of Kevin McCarthy giving the insurrectionists a tour. I wonder if he'll just have to step down. Is it just that McCarthy will have to step? Is it wrecking ball tonight? I know there's so much going on. Oh, Matt Gates, thank you for reminding me. It looks like Kevin McCarthy will be dethroned. Maybe they don't have enough evidence against him as they do, or definitely not as much as, some of the others. Clarence Thomas resign? Well, I can ask that right now. Will Clarence Thomas resign? Yes, it looks like he will too. My pendulum is sending almost everyone to the slammer. McCarthy. Okay, is Matt Gaetz going to jail? Matt Gaetz is definitely going to jail. Let's ask about Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon. I'm sorry if I don't read your comments. I just can't read and do all this at the same time. But I do see the hellos, so hello. A paid troll? You can get a job as a troll? There you go. Jim Jordan, good question. I'm losing track of all the criminals. Oh yeah, Jim Jordan's going to jail. Was it Jim Jordan that was, sometimes people put all caps when they have to say something like to me, but I didn't read that. Is Jim Jordan one of the ones that was calling for execution? Kushner. Oh, hi, Australia. Kushner. Whenever I think of Jared Kushner, I think international war crimes. Don't feed the trolls. I love that. That's great. Don't feed the trolls. I'm going to use that. They're easy to read, and usually people, they're much easier to read, actually. Sometimes some psychics, when they go live on YouTube, they say put your questions in all caps. Okay, so anybody else we want to know if they're going to jail? Steve Bannon. I didn't ask about Steve. Is Steve Bannon going to jail? You know what I get about Steve Bannon too? That he's planning to go to jail. 45 substance abuse. I think Spanky needs a hug. I think they're hilarious too, actually. I think people know about Trump Sr.'s drug addiction. He snorts Adderall. I mean, people that have worked with him on like The Apprentice and everything, that's really a known fact. Let's yeah, we know Spanky's a troll. I don't think Mitch McConnell's going to jail. No, Mitch McConnell's not going to jail. I don't know if Mitch McConnell is long for this world. I'm not predicting a death here, but I know he's not healthy. I don't know how half of them are still standing, honestly. Doesn't look like some of them watch their diets. Anyway, I'm not saying that to be insulting. I'm just talking about taking care of their health. Who'd we leave out? Jim Jordan's going to jail. They better build some new jails, or you know what they need to do is free the people that are in there for like an ounce of marijuana. That's what they need to do. Oh, Devin Nunes, thank you. Of course they're going to appeal. That's what they do. That's how they do. And then they want Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. I cannot believe how long the list is. Okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene going to jail? Yes, she was in on the insurrection. And when I think of Marjorie Taylor Greene, I also see Jim Jordan. They were working together. Is Devin Nunes going to jail? Wow. You know, it's funny because I said Devin Nunes and then I just got a flash of Adam Schiff. There's a couple people that when I see them on the news that are on the January 6th committee, when I see them on the news, I'm like, I see a little tiny smirk and I'm like, they know something. And it's, you know, just Giuliani, I got yes. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Spanky wants us to lock up Marjorie Taylor Greene. So, Lauren Boebert, is she going to jail? Oh, yeah. These people are going to jail. Kushner, I think I did Kushner. Yes, actually, I didn't finish because, you know, lives are challenging. It's very distracting to read the chats. But Jared Kushner, I get a big yes. And for him, it's international crimes. It's international crimes. Jared Kushner had something to do with Khashoggi's murder. Entertainment purposes only. And paid troll. It's a paid troll. DeSatan. I've actually seen DeSatan in my mind's eye in handcuffs. Let's see. DeSatan. It's kind of going around like it's to be determined yet, to be determined. But it's going into a yes. I think I've got everyone. You know, since I changed my lighting, you guys, I had to rig this up with a rubber band. So the rubber band is kind of blocking your words. Hang on a second. Why do I suppose is a holdup on Mark Meadows? Is he singing? Let's take a look. Okay. When you have a troll, it's a good opportunity to look to the light and not look to the darkness. We got to practice that. Okay. Hang on a second. Oh, Josh Hawley. I can't believe how hard it is to remember all the criminals. Mark Meadows. Is Mark Meadows singing to the January 6th committee? Absolutely. It's out of self-preservation. That's what I get about that. Mitch's wife. Well, it does seem like everyone in the GOP is going to go to jail. I kind of agree with you. The Russians tried to poison Putin? What? No, that's not, I don't get that. Okay, it's saying somebody's going to jail. Who was I asking about? Anyway, the wicked going to jail. Oh, okay, ciao. She resigned the day of the insurrection. Oh my goodness, Mitch McConnell's wife is really in big trouble. Is she going to go back to China? Paul Gosar and Mo Brooks? Okay. It's very sad that I can't keep up. She's not going to go back to China. Oh, well, that's interesting. How sad it is that I can't keep up with all the criminals. That's amazing. Is Joe Manchin going to jail? Well, they look like they pig out. You guys are funny. Let's see. Abbott. Is Abbott going to jail? Yeah. I wonder if that's Mo Brooks. Is Mo Brooks going to jail? Yes. Do you believe this? I can't believe this. Gosar. Is Gosar going to jail? Is Tucker Carlson going to jail? Tucker Carlson is not going to jail. Is Fox News coming down? Yeah, Fox News is coming down. Join Grassroots of Democracy. Send an email. I know they have to build more jails. That's what I said. They need to free the people that are in jail for pot. Ted Cruz. Josh Hawley. You guys, are you as shocked as I am that this list is so long? Josh Hawley. Josh Hawley. Is Josh Hawley going to flee the country? Josh Hawley's going to try to flee the country. Wait, what did you say about Tucker's going to unemployment line? His family's rich. So is Matt Gaetz' family. But Matt Gaetz is going to jail. Is Ghislaine Maxwell going to squeal? Oh, this is interesting. I'm not getting that she's going to squeal on that many people. Because it's not going to make that much of a difference. And then she risks being, you know, a heinous end. Betsy DeVos. Oh, I'm kind of curious. Yeah, Betsy DeVos looks like she's in big trouble too. Tucker Carlson going to Russia. I feel like Tucker Carlson's going to leave the country. I feel like Tucker Carlson's going to Russia. Yeah, I saw that about Trump fleeing the country. I've asked that before, but I get that Trump is just going to be sick. Eric Prince. Hang on. Is Trump going to flee the country? No, I don't think he'll be able to flee the country. I think he's going to be... I think he's going to be... If you read the chat, it's kind of funny. Who's going to share jail cells? Oh my goodness. Good riddance to Tucker. Tucker is an out-and-out traitor that's working with Russia. Okay, 2 more. Eric Prince. Is Eric Prince going to jail? The guy said he knows too many people. And mental hospital for Trump, it looks like. Is it the mental hospital for Trump? Is it just the actual? Yeah, it's the actual hospital. So it's a physical problem. We know he has all the signs of dementia. I'm always astounded when people say that he's going to run for president again. Orange is the new orange. Sorry, I'm missing all your comments, but I'm missing most of them, but I'm getting some giggles. Okay, I have a couple people sent questions. Where did I put them? A couple people have questions. Oh yeah, there's so much to talk about. What did they announce? Brazilian crystals, you're saying that they announced something. Is that true, Kate? Really? Melania is going back to her country. Huh. Yeah, I know. Linda G did tell me about that dream. Oh, by the way, speaking of Linda G, we're doing a show on Sunday. We're going to record it during the day and then, 3 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to record it. So, Sunday night. Me and Linda G about the documents. Yeah. Yeah, they did announce it. I do remember that. I mean, and they're announcing more and more. Like he had top secret documents. Spanky's going to bed now. Okay, questions that people asked. Classified documents, yes. Yes. And I hate to tell you this, but Trump sold our some secrets to Russia. Just so you know, Bolsonaro be reelected, he's bad news. I know, and people, we have to think about these horrible dictators that are doing horrible things to their people and make that motivate us to save our democracy. Okay, so somebody asked if Jared Kushner had an affair, and they said that there was a pregnancy, but it was not Ivanka. I just want to speak to that, if that person is here. I thought they had a surrogate. I thought that Jared and Ivanka had a surrogate. So that's what I have to say to that. Someone asked about independents and real Republicans. I'm saying, will independents and actual just your run-of-the-mill normal conservative, will they vote Democratic? That's what I want to look at. Will Republicans and independents? I mean, not insurrectionist Republicans, not Trumpster Republicans, but your run-of-the-mill Republicans that their family have been Republicans their whole lives. Will they vote Democrat? Okay, there's a lot of people in America that are going to be seriously very angry when everything comes out. There will be nefarious forces trying to rig the elections. We know that's already happening. And that was a curious question. I'm going to go back and see if I can get it. I do, yeah, I'll ask that. I'll ask that. I think Jared's trans. I think Jared is trans. I do. I mean, like, he's, you know, he wants to be a woman. That's what I think. Obama, I really do. I'm going to ask the pendulum that. I really get a strong sense that Obama kept things from Trump. Did Obama keep things from Trump? I'm getting yes. I'm getting yes. Brazilian crystals, are you from Brazil? Not sure. You don't have to tell me. It's none of my business. No, Bolsonaro is a terrible, terrible human being. There are dictators, there are authoritarians, there are fascists everywhere. We are fortunate to be in this country. We need for democracy to spread. I think Kushner is a cross-dresser, and he might be considering a sex change. Which I have no opinion about. I mean, it's fine with me. Oh, you live in Florida. Okay. You sell Brazilian crystals. I wondered because you're asking about Bolsonaro. It was bound to happen. I forgot what I was asking. It only happened once so far. But I get it, yes, whatever it was. Republicans and independents. Okay, so this is it. This is what's going on. Somebody asked today, will Republicans and independents vote Democratic in the midterms? People are going to be extremely angry when the whole timeline story comes out and the hearings are going on. Many Americans are going to be extremely, extremely angry. And nonetheless, nefarious things will be going on with taking away voting rights and making it harder to vote. Please join Grassroots of Democracy at gmail.com. Send an email to us that says I in the subject line, AYE. That's how they vote in Congress. You must join us because we're writing letters and we're doing important stuff. Okay, so this is the nefarious things that will go on around the elections. Yes, UFO secrets are told to Trump. A long time ago, I had a vision of each time a president gets into the White House, shortly after they get into the White House, there's like a briefing where the military tells them about UFOs. Let's join Michelle Obama. We're doing a lot of good work with Grassroots of Democracy, so please join us. Our meetings are on Zoom every Thursday night. We're doing good work. But even though the hearings are going to be going on and people are going to be furious, the voting rights restrictions are still going to be in full force. But we're going to figure out how to overcome it. It's unconstitutional to not let people vote. And you know, one thing we do at the start of the meeting for Grassroots of Democracy every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, it's only an hour, you should come. Every Thursday, we start the meeting with 1 minute of visualizing the America that we want to see. So it's really great. It's really great. Women's rights will be reinstated. Yeah, I think Hillary is suing Fox. That could be the beginning of the end of Fox. Because you know what? Fox is being sued by Dominion, the voting machine maker, and for billions, as is Giuliani. Trump. Yeah, that's funny about Trump in the studio, the Area 54. What was I asking? It's starting to happen. I'm starting to forget what I was asking the pendulum. You think it's easy? You think it's easy to be a psychic, reading cards and doing the pendulum? Hillary, thank you. And this is why it's like, do I really want to go live on Friday night? But it's fun. It's totally fun. I appreciate you all being here. There's a lot of people in the house. Okay, so thanks. Is Hillary going to sue Fox News for slander, basically, and when? Oh my gosh, yes. Yay! The Trump base is a cult. This full moon, oh my gosh, I was glad when it's waning now. I was glad when it passed. And by the way, happy birthday to all the Pisces. The moon's in Pisces today. Both of my parents are Pisces. Oh, I appreciate you too. Thank you. Trudeau, is Trudeau gonna, what was the question about Trudeau you wanted me to ask? I feel like Hillary is gonna sue Fox News and win. It is a cult. I've studied cults. It's the playbook of the cults. Oh, you can give me a thumbs up. I'll take a thumbs up, or two, or three, or a million. Okay, so when is Fox News going down? Is it gonna be, it's saying yes, it's going down. Is Fox News gonna be going down this year? No. Next year. Fox News is going down next year. False rumors that Hillary will run in 2024. Well, let's ask. Will Hillary Clinton run for president again? No. 2023 Fox News is going down. Is that what you're referring to? Because I feel like Fox News is going down. Oh, and I'm getting a big yes on that. It's going down. Is Sean Hannity in trouble? Well, I get it like around in a circle. Sean Hannity talks out of both sides of his mouth and he confuses people. Sean Hannity, you know what he's going to do? He's actually going to use the, I was just kidding line. Is that true? Sean Hannity is going to use some version of, I was just kidding. Craziness. Okay, so we have to wrap up soon. Did Hillary really win the presidency in 2016? She won the popular vote. Did she really win the presidency? Yes, Hillary Clinton did win the presidency. So when people ask me, she did. I'm telling you, Russia interfered. It's all in the Mueller report. She did. She won the election. And Russia, it's all in the Mueller report. I don't have to argue with Spanky. Okay, so we're coming up to an hour, and your friend the psychic has to go have dinner. So at some point, I have my smoothie, but now I'm starting to get more hungry. You don't argue with Spanky. Don't give Spanky any attention. I've given Spanky too much attention already. I'm going to take a couple more questions. Will that ever be told to the American people? It has been told to the American people. It's in, well, Bill Barr blocked it. It was in there. Please read on dark foreign and money in Texas politics. Well, you know what I have to say about that is there's way massive amounts of dark and foreign money in Texas politics. It's been going on for a long time. And I just saw somebody who was asking about Lindsay. People in Texas really need to join up with Beto O'Rourke. There's a lot of power in numbers. There's a lot of strength in numbers. Is Trudeau going to be still the prime minister? Yes, Trudeau's going to win a re-election. I don't know when your election is in Canada. Somebody said something about Khrushchev. Khrushchev said he would bury us. This has been going on for a long time. Where we are right now is very, very similar. I don't think Liz Cheney will run for president. Where we are right now with Russia and Ukraine, and by the way, we did bring the energy up. My energy's much better now than it was when I was just tapping into what's going on. So when we were in the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, the energy of that time, just tuning in, we're going through some very similar energy now. So, and I just, you know, there's a movie, I think it's called 13 Days, called Linda Graham. I think Jared Kushner and Lindsay are cross-dressers. I really do. There's a movie called 13 Days about the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's worth kind of watching and seeing the history. If you want to, hi Justin's mom. If you want to just sort of get a sense of what's going on and what the history of all this is. So we will be praying and meditating. So I'm going to do something tomorrow. I'm going to ballpark it. Tomorrow at, I'm trying to figure out when my last client is. How about 7:30 tomorrow? We do a meditation. Live, we'll do a meditation. It's not a big deal. We're just going to meditate. Okay? 7:30 Eastern time tomorrow evening. And I will post it on my community page. We'll get together to do a 20 to 30 minute meditation. I'll just say a prayer at the beginning and we'll just go into silence to send white light to Ukraine and Russia. It does work, okay? So I'll post it on my community page. Please tell people. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. You're all invited. And I do have videos where we did meditate and they're up there. So if you want to just pick one of the videos when we did our group meditation on my channel, on my page, you can do that anytime. We'll keep the vibes high. We can do this prayer work. So we're going to put an end to this. Meditation is just sitting quietly. It's just sitting quietly. That's all it is. Don't make it more complicated. Okay? I think we will get another stimulus in this year. Okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys. It was fun. And thank you for bringing my energy up. Because we do worry. We're human, right? Well, that's interesting about your father and the Cuban Missile Crisis. We have an interesting history in this world, don't we? All right, bye. Thank you.